The vanishing key. This is probably a trick that you've seen many times before, but I'm going to show you something at the very end to make it different and fool people who know this trick. So all you do is place the key in your hand and just rub it on the back of your... Well, that didn't work too well, so we'll try it again. Put it in your hand, rub it on the back of your sleeve until it vanishes into your coat. Now the secret, of course, is, most of you know this. To learn the secret to this and other magic tricks in this series, go to EndoRootCamp.com. Hi, I'm Dr. Kit Weathers, and once again, it's time for the Root Tip of the Week. Today's Root Tip comes from an email that I received just this morning from a Dr. Shaw. Okay, let me quickly outline what Dr. Shaw asked. He said, I'm certainly enjoying all of the root tips, and there are a bunch of pearls that I've learned. I was wondering about the length of the root canal files. Assuming that molars are approximately 21 millimeters, plus or minus a little bit, I wonder why we don't have 23 millimeter files. And over the past year, I've found that it's so much easier to shorten the crown 1 to 2 millimeters prior to taking my trial periapical x-ray. Would it make sense to have 23 millimeter files? And would that be more versatile and avoid having to use 25 millimeter files on molars? Well, Dr. Shaw, that's an interesting question, and before I answer it, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how files are manufactured. Now, when they make a file and they say it's 21 millimeters, it is 21 millimeters from the handle to the tip of the file. It is not 21 millimeters of usable file. But if you place that 21 millimeter file into a regular latch handpiece, the amount of usable file from the tip of the file to the handpiece itself is 23 millimeters, as we see here. Therefore, if you make your access opening just slightly larger than the handle of the file, which you always will do, you'll be able to go to 23 millimeters without any problem. If you put it in a mini latch, which is what I prefer, you actually get 26.5 millimeters of usable instrument just by using a 21 millimeter file. Okay, let's take a closer look at the difference between the mini latch and the regular handpiece. So as we see here on the right, if you use a regular contra angle, the distance from the angle to the tip of the file is 23 millimeters. However, if you go to a mini latch, which is all I use, you'll find the measurement from the tip of the file all the way to the handpiece itself, 26.5 millimeters. Therefore, you will not need to use 25 millimeter files on molars. And finally, I'd like to show you a way to estimate the working length of the average molar root canal. The average crown on a molar is approximately 7 millimeters, and the root is approximately 14 millimeters. So if you just take an x-ray and imagine how many times the crown would actually fit on the root, you'll find it's usually a 2-to-1 ratio. And if it's very different from that, it'll be very obvious. Well, that's it for another Root Tip of the Week. And if you'd like to submit your own question, and I encourage you to do so, please contact me at the address across my chest right here. And I will be happy to answer your question. If I don't answer it as a Root Tip of the Week, I promise you I'll answer it via email. So that's it for now, and I will see you at the Apex.